So, ready to start the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gender Blender, where we blur the line in the gender divide. Damn, I'm just saying that shit.
Karina, you like my guns?
Y se frizó Karina, pues.
You like my guns, Karina?
Karina está frisada, espérate, pero mira. Yo, you were frozen for a hot minute.
So were you guys. I was the only one moving on my side.
On your side, but we saw you frozen. Look at Splu. Splu el otro.
Oh,
Why
Jesus.
did you...
He's pretending again.
Did on purpose.
Not even blinking.
He's so stupid.
Karina,
Sorry, my
you
Wi-Fi
like-
was doing some shit.
You like my guns, Karina?
Okay?
You like my guns?
So I want to
Yes,
start.
very
Firearms
nice.
away, man.
I want to start this topic off with Manny. You know we have the relationship expert coming in at 8:00. So, Manny, how's your relationship going in this quarantine? There's a study that says that recently the relationships in general have either ended or have filed for divorce because they're spending too much time together in the house. They can't fucking stand each other. So
Well-
you being married, having a wife, how are you? How are you doing?
You know what? It's been interesting. It's been
Okay.
real interesting. It's been
You
good.
found out what her birthday is, her favorite color, all that.
I found out her middle name.
that's progress.
Yo, do you know your anniversary now?
Huh?
Do you know your anniversary now?
Cállate, Splu. No, but actually, you know what? It's been interesting. It's just been good.
I
Yeah.
never understood why people say interesting. It always worries me when people say
You know why? You know why I say interesting? You know why I
Uh,
say interesting? Because I was expecting something and something else happened. Like I was expecting that she was gonna drive me crazy, and I was gonna have to wring her neck a bunch of times. But you know, it's all been the opposite,
well,
So
that's good.
contemplated murder.
pretty much.
Part of being in a relationship.
What can you do?
You
Right.
watch episodes of Law and Order, you like, mira, yo creo que si yo
Oh,
le arranco-
and by the way, I've been splitting my time between my house and my mother's house. So that's
Oh, so
also
that's how you hold. That's how you keep the marriage going.
exactly.
But what do you think? But my question is, why don't you think that not spending time together will hurt the marriage more than spending time together? Like I don't understand.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
So much time together is actually bringing us closer because we tend to miss each other more. And when we get together, it's better. There's a lot more love, a lot more how can I explain this? A lot more togetherness, you could say.
Which is ironic.
It is.
Yeah.
But
So
it's worked out. It's worked out actually.
I'm trying to Google the statistics of reasons why couples are fighting on quarantine. What's your take, Blue?
Yo creo que la gente que están peleando son la gente que de verdad se odian and they just take that time to be away from each other. Like,
Espérate. No me digas que tú estás manejando.
¿Qué tú crees que él está haciendo? Tú no ves que se pone el cinturón y está haciendo así, él está manejando.
And I see him like this. I swear I thought this was fake. You know when people make believe that they're driving and they go like this? I thought that was fake till I saw Splu driving right now. That's really how people mimic
That is
driving.
exactly how Splu drives.
Why do you think he has the background?
He drives dancing.
yo, ustedes son demasiado inteligentes.
His
Splu
seatbelt gives
tiene
it away.
juicio.
Oh my God. So Karina, what's your take on that?
Honestly, I think that those hours where people are at work, they're a different person. That's your day person.
I like that.
When you come home and now this person who doesn't know who you are in the daytime is like, what? That's how you talk during 8 to 7? Like, it's a whole different person. You have habits that you do at work that you don't do at home. You probably clean up after yourself at work, but you don't do it at home. And all that stuff starts to come out, and everybody's like, wait, but Who are you and where did you come from? Because the guy that usually lives here after hours doesn't do nothing around here. So I think that's where it's just a different person. Maybe. I don't know.
So here are, I found the reasons people are fighting during quarantine. So number one is fear and anxiety. I don't want to go too much into detail because we're gonna have Jennifer coming in to actually talk about all this later. But it says fear and anxiety is one. Too much change too quickly. Increased fighting may be in part due to the disruption of your routine, which is important, which is what I was going to say. The loss of engagement in meaningful activity like work, seeing friends, going to the gym, and difficult feelings that come with this is more than likely one of the contributing factors of this. So it's true, the fact that your life is disrupted, out of space, Manny. When we get married or partner up because we want to build a life together, but if you're feeling turned off by the constant presence of your partner, experts want you to know that is absolutely normal.
So hold on. You saying that it's okay right now?
Nice.
For uno taquillado, right? For uno taquillado, and tell your girl like, oye, mira, tú te tienes que comer este boche, porque honestamente yo no puedo ir al gym, no estoy yendo al trabajo, no estoy haciendo lo que me gusta, lo que estoy aquí toqueado contigo. So that frustration, it's okay to let it out on this time just because it's quarantine.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't see an end to it.
Yeah, that's what,
when somebody's home on vacation, it's like, okay, he's here for 5 days. So you know the routine, and you still can go out. You keep some of your routine, but this is hard. Like you are in this person's face all day.
oh, se entiende. But the thing is that, look, it's happening to me, y yo estoy como que dice solo. So I feel like it's something that's gonna happen regardless. The fucked up part is that when it's two people panicking, I know people that are not even about to say life, and they're like, "Yo, I'm actually panicking the fact that I'm stuck home." So imagine if you're stuck home with someone else. Like it's probably not even gonna be part of the relationship situation.
He said pretty so.
Yeah, yo no estoy frisado.
We missed that last part of what you said.
That I was saying.
And we're going to miss it again.
Eso mismo,
That's
bro.
his
Eso
home
mismo.
because he's driving through a dead zone and he's trying to act like it's not him.
Te frisaste de nuevo. Finish your
You gotta
point.
stop driving, dude. Or not. You could just sit there and not say nothing because you're frozen. That works too.
Yeah, the experts were also saying that having kids is another factor when they realize that their spouse, primarily the man, isn't helping enough around the house with the kids. That's the main complaint I've seen on my social feed, that a lot of the men are not, especially the ones that are working from home, are not helping out with the kids.
You look at that having kids would drive me insane right now. If I had a little kid at home, I would probably lock myself in the room.
But my question is with the quarantine though, like
Let him break everything.
Exactly.
They would cry too much entertaining, and
yeah. I personally think that if quarantine is affecting your marriage, it's marriage to begin with.
Yeah. There was an issue before, it's just now it's in your face and you can't really escape it.
Exactly, and the issue is your spouse. Yeah, so another crazy argument on social media is the 5G network.
I have no idea what that's about because
I've heard so many stories about this. I don't even know
it's just over changing all the time. I'm like, yeah, okay, they'll figure it out.
So no. Conspiracy theorists feel that the 5G networks are creating coronavirus. The towers.
No.
So they think that the fact that they're building
The
fact that they think that these towers are creating coronavirus is insane for me, because one has nothing to do with the other. What have you heard, Manny?
I heard that same thing, that because of the 5G, men are becoming sterile, they can't have kids because of the radiation that the 5G is giving off. And
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. These towers do emit. They do emit radiation. Like if you stand close to it for a long period of time, it's gonna cause something. Radiation, whatever. But we're talking about a prolonged period of time. It's not like you're gonna go across the street next to a tower and then you're gonna miss it. So basically, they're saying that COVID-19 is due to the towers.
I think so. That I don't believe.
I respect people's opinion. I let them, but I've got so many videos, and it's always the people that sound uneducated or you could tell that they failed science class.
You mean like Donald Trump?
No. So they want to talk like, don't come like I want, and then they get so they get mad at me for not believing in the 5G stuff. Like, yo, I respect your opinion, but I don't believe in that shit. Right?
I don't. One thing has nothing to do with the other.
No,
it really doesn't.
Because 5G caused coronavirus.
What?
People are saying that the 5G towers caused coronavirus.
Yo, bro, there's gonna be nothing but a whole bunch of people thinking that they know what the fuck is going on.
Conspiracy theories. You know what else causes cancer? A microwave, a cell phone.
Yeah, we've been using it for the rest of the
Airplanes, sun tanning. Sun tanning has radiation. Your Wi-Fi at home has radiation. You know.
Yo, there was a time that I remember. Do y'all remember there was like pink toilet paper and baby blue toilet paper?
Yes.
Yes. I do remember that. Oddly enough, I do remember that.
And then they took it away because they started saying that that was causing cancer.
Yeah, that was giving you butthole cancer, yeah.
They have
Yo,
color people in Santo Domingo, and
there's always gonna be something. There's always like right now you can tell somebody that's giving you the same speech, oh, but microwave has radiation. They're gonna be like, oh, but is there enough radiation that it's not gonna affect you? Oh, but it's radiation. Oh, the phone is one of the craziest type of radiation that you put near your face and it's going to your brain cells and everything. We have a phone in our ear half the fucking day.
All day.
And the thing about the 5G thing, I'm guessing this 5G has been out for a while now. It just didn't come into the market yesterday.
Correct. So my question is, keep going, man.
So basically, this 5G thing, I mean, like you said, I let people speak and they say whatever they say, and I respect that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But what I'm trying to figure out is that 5G has been out for a while now. And now, all of a sudden, because of this pandemic, they're saying that because of the 5G, that's giving out the coronavirus. Why didn't it shouldn't it have been given out?
Coronavirus in places that don't have 5G. So the whole thing
That's what I'm saying. What is it? I saw a study, not a study, I saw an article that said 142 countries are affected by coronavirus. I'm pretty sure some of those countries do not have 5G.
No, they don't.
So my question is, so if I travel to a location that doesn't have 5G, should I not be cured? It's a legit question. It's a legit question. So another thing about this whole coronavirus, and a lot of people, like at the beginning of this thing, yeah, I thought it was the flu. I thought it was another, like, the media scaring people, because you know they love to do that shit. So my thing is this, and I hope it helps people with anxiety. Well, I probably won't help people with anxiety, but the way I look at it, we're all gonna die from something. Like, we're all gonna die from something. I'm not saying to go out and be reckless. I'm not saying go out and let people sneeze on you or cough on you, because it's real. The threat is real. Oh yeah, this is true. Ben Ali says, "Trump will let me travel." This is true. I don't even think the airlines are flying anymore. So
I think they are
they're bringing people back. They're bringing people back from countries that are citizens.
Yeah, but to finish my point,
what are you doing?
What is he doing? We can't even see him.
Es que no se está tranquilo.
But to finish my point, I do think people should take precaution but not stop living. Like, it's survivable. This disease is survivable.
Yes, it is.
So, like for example, myself, I have an underlying condition. I take medicine that suppresses my immune system. I'm not high risk, but is that going to stop me from living? Not at all. I go outside. I go to the supermarket. You know, I'm just starting to wear a mask just to wear masks. I've seen the ambulance like 7 times around my neighborhood, on my block specifically. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So.
No, pero es que en el bloque tuyo por ahí viven un reguero de viejos que tienen 115 años, 102 años. Yo creo que el más joven tiene como 192 años. So,
Matusalén, mínimo Matusalén.
No, por ahí viven esos judíos que no se mueren.
Que no se mueren.
But people gotta stop. Like, follow precautions, but don't live in fear, because life is beautiful. Like find something to entertain yourself. Like, this is all going to be over soon, you know. But I believe that the world's not going to be the same after this.
Absolutely not.
You know what? You know what's fucked up? You know what's fucked up about all of this coronavirus thing? Like, let's say, for example, I catch it for whatever reason. I do all the self-quarantine. I get cured or whatever. Everything is over, and we go back to the show. You're not gonna tell me that you're not gonna treat me indifferently because I had that.
Oh no, we will treat you the same, because to be honest, it's just like the flu. It's like the flu. All we gotta do is tell Smurf when we get back that we need the seats 6 feet apart, and then we have a show.
No, we didn't treat you any different when you came in here with the perm.
No, Manny has to sit outside.
Are we gonna treat you the same through the door?
We'll treat you the same, Manny.
I love you, Serena.
You don't have a microphone, but we'll treat you the same.
Thank you. That makes me feel so much more welcome.
So happy.
You know we family, kid.
But you know, this actually, but this is, you know what's funny? This is like a blessing in disguise, if you could even call it that. Oh yeah, hold on, Jen just hit me up. Yeah, let me confirm with our guest.
May as well, because Blue's missing his head.
What?
Your head was cut off again.
So I just confirmed. But like I was saying, this is a blessing in disguise, because if you see the news report, hold on. I need to send her the link to the room.
Yo soy débil. Y más ahora en esta cuarentena, muchacha, llegó en bicicleta a tu casa. Volvió Juanita y dijo que no volvía. Ahora vamos con 30 y con la pámpara prendida.
So, have you noticed that pollution has gone down?
Oh my God, yes.
Gone down.
Like, I was in the backyard the other day and the sky was so blue. I mean, like, it was so clear. It was so.
You could see and I saw that, you could see the Himalaya,
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw an article where it's so clear. In Italy, the canal water was crystal clear. You had dolphins in that damn water or some shit.
Birds too. There's a bird outside and it's a flirty bird. It goes.
Where the fuck do y'all live that y'all don't see things? Like, do y'all live in the sewers? Like, there's dolphins in the fucking Hudson River.
Dude. There's no
like, what?
We're talking about the carbon footprint of you could tell that honestly, humans are the real virus.
Oh my God, they throw their freaking gloves everywhere. It's disgusting.
But,
have you seen that shit?
Like, since when is
supermarket and this guy was garbage picking out gloves to put on.
Since when is
like,
this
that
new?
does not defeat the purpose.
Like, we are the worst kind of fucking mammals that are walking this earth.
Yes.
Bro, you need to see the before and after pictures. You should see the satellite images of the pollution before Corona and now. It is crazy, especially in China when this whole thing started. You should see a satellite picture of the pollution levels dropping in China, and you'll be mind blown.
All right, let me tell you something. Let me ask you a question. You know a little dirty place named Orchard Beach?
No, Well, yo, if the water in Orchard Beach is blue, I believe that humans are the virus. If that water,
Once this is over, to go look
yo,
at
if
that water.
Orchard Beach water ever turns blue, maning, we should just.
But I need you to tell me
all be extinct.
what animals are there in Orchard Beach, nigga?
Humans.
Dominicans.
That's it.
El
Okay,
diablo,
my God, it don't gotta be Diablo.
Diablo, de ni venda la patria así, manín, diablo.
Nigga, man, damn.
Nosotros somos
At
los
least
más
that's
rebuscados.
humans. He said Dominican.
Por lo menos, supo was like,
Little bit.
Él lo arregló, él lo
Los
arregló.
dominicanos son sucios.
No, that the humans are disgusting. Humans are disgusting. Humans don't have a care in the world. In Cincinnati, people are throwing parties, bro. There was this one guy that got arrested. He threw a street party. Talking about, oh, I don't give a fuck about Corona. You had the 18-year-old girl who allegedly got coronavirus, and she went to a Walmart talking about, oh, I'm going to infect all these motherfuckers because if I'm going down, everybody's going down. You know, she got arrested, by the way, facing terrorist charges, which
Yep.
is good.
she won't be doing that shit again.
You have people drinking Arizona iced tea and putting it back on the shelf.
Why do people do that? I don't know. I saw that there was a guy opening fruit punch and Hawaiian
Yeah, him.
and taking a
We
sip.
saw
and
the
putting it
same
back.
video. Because people want to be famous at whatever cost. And that's not even famous. You get your 50 minutes of fame, and then you're going to go to fucking jail for a very long time because you're fucking
Well,
Stupid.
I'm actually invited to a party right now, so it's like,
Where you going?
Hey, podcast. Huh?
Chris,
I need
your DSL's acting up.
Espérate, let me dial again. I gotta dial again.
Megatron, we will take over the world.
Yo, Cryptic is frozen.
All right.
Chris, they apaga el Wi-Fi.
I froze?
Sí,
Yeah.
and you sound like Megatron.
No, I'm not.
No?
My sister wants to know why you wearing a coat.
I'm frozen?
He's in the
Yes,
Bay.
I got a high
In San
spot
Francisco.
where my heart used to
It's
be.
my
I got a
laptop.
high spot where my heart used to
Hold on.
be. I'm so cold. I'm so cold.
Viste, mani. Casi altita él.
Mínimo.
That's all right. Yo, y'all haven't heard my music?
No, well, yeah, sort of. We heard something that you were doing. Who that? Llegó Juris.
Ahora sí.
En otro plan, en otro plataforma.
Cámbiate de Roadrunner. Cámbiate de Roadrunner y métete a ver Ison ya. Suelta eso, mijo, porque coño. Puede estar desconectando el teléfono cada rato que uno quiere usar el internet.
Mimi.
You know what the problem is? It's my it's my laptop.
This is laptop.
What about the laptop?
Pues tú te compraste una lata, hija de puta.
I don't know how to close. I don't know how to close fucking apps on my Chromecast still, so that's what it is right now.
You should have bought a Mac and not a hija de puta.
Stupid.
So
That's that Android life.
for story
What?
what you got for us? Story time.
Story time, damn it.
Oh man, I got a story for y'all.
Go for it.
It's a short story. So when I learned how to,
So it's a story about your penis?
it is actually, it is actually about my penis.
What?
So when I learned how to masturbate,
Oh my God.
Uh,
I was kidding. Damn it. Go for it.
all right. So, you know, my uncle, cuando tú no habitas, eso significa que te veniste, ahí es que tú eres un hombre. And yo, I used to like, I didn't know how it worked. Like, niggas wasn't walking me through. You know, they wasn't telling me, like, tú tienes que jalarte los 600 veces, you know, para que tú te puedas venir. Like, I just thought, I was there one day and I was just like, whew, and I like pulled it. Whoop, and I was like, okay, no me está saliendo nada. Like, you know, it's nothing. And then my uncle was like, oye, hazlo así, sóbate.
Like a ketchup bottle.
You ain't out there hitting it, nigga. No. Tú no estás sobando. You know, like this.
That's kind of called shaping.
Well, look, it worked. You know? So it worked. And I got scared. And I ended up running to my grandmother with the shit in my hand. Like, mamá, mira lo que me salió. Yeah, yo no sé. Pero me salió eso, ¿qué es eso? I was scared. I didn't know.
Your poor grandmother.
I didn't know exactly what it was. I didn't know. I was like 9 years old. I wasn't around no perverted kids. I wasn't around no kids that was like, oh, loco, no tenga. It was after I started getting older that I started seeing that. But yeah, it was traumatizing for my grandmother. We never ever spoke about it ever again.
I see why.
Like ever again. All right, you don't have to. You asked me for a story.
Oh, that's definitely a story, all right.
We are all very traumatized, like your poor grandmother.
Yes,
we are. I did it again that same night, but this time I didn't show my grandmother.
Thank God.
Because I was like, yo, this feels amazing. Like this has to continue.
So you got over it quite quickly.
It's been something that I do faithfully, now at my 31 years of age,
Mm-hmm.
Manny, tell us why you mad.
What a segue.
I should have just started with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the final installment of Storytime with Splu. Splu, we'd like to thank you for your contribution to the show on Storytime.
Of course, anytime.
You heard the final episode, right?
Huh? Are we doing Splu's news as well?
Yeah. Is it gonna involve you?
If it has to do with you,
if it has to do with your penis again, we don't want to know.
Where does Splu go?
Well, Splu's news doesn't have to do with penis. Well, it has to do with a penis named Donald Trump, but it's not.
Mira quién llegó.
Tell us why you mad, Manny.
Oh, why I'm mad? Oh, that's easy. I've been thinking about this.
Tommy's in the building.
Yo, what's up, fellas? How you doing, everybody? Manny, dime por qué tú estás mad. Why you mad?
Why you mad, Manny?
You just in time, Tommy. You just in time. Now, check this out. I've been noticing a lot on social media, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, these pictures of these memes with a guy and a girl, and they're either kissing or whatnot, and it says mood, right?
Oh.
Okay. Another meme that I be seeing is oh, I would love a guy that's this way. And it shows a picture of flowers and candy and all kinds of crazy nonsense. Okay. Now, what makes me mad is that in my eyes, when I see something like that, I automatically think, well, this woman is looking for somebody. If I were single, I would be like, you know what? Let me go in and slide into the DM. When you slide into the DM, you're like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Who the fuck are you? Why are you hitting me up? Relax. I just wanted to say hello. I see that you were interested in a couple of things that maybe you and me have a couple of things in common with. No, I don't. And they start going off the rocker. Now, what makes me mad is this. If you don't want people sliding into your DMs, trying to holler at you, do not put those freaking pictures up on your social media, because that's giving us men a green light to slide in and to try to holler at you. If
So
you're
talking
not
about thirst traps.
holler at, don't put it. But don't get an attitude thinking that your shit don't stink.
Manny keeps acting like he be sliding into shit. I don't know what's going on there with Manny.
No.
Manny.
The reason why I say it is this. Because back in the day, I would be the one sliding in or try to slide in or whatever. But because maybe I don't look a certain way, or I probably don't have the car that they're looking for, or I don't have the money that they're looking for, they would be like, oh, no, yeah, you're this and you're that.
Can I stop you right there? It ain't the money, player, because I ain't got $1 and I'll be scooping these up now. I'm playing.
Diablo.
Este es una cosa seria.
I'm just saying, if you're not gonna want people to slide into your DMs and try to holler at you, don't put stuff up like that.
You're
Real
right.
simple.
I gotta get my phone charged.
They're sending false signals.
You're sending false signals, and then you thinking, oh, maybe I could get to know her on some cool shit, and you come off all stank. Oh no, man, go fuck yourself. How's that?
Sácale el dedo, money. Sácale el dedo.
Yo, you sound a little angry there, bro, but I understand.
That's why it's called Manny's mad.
Tommy, I love you, Tommy.
Tommy, I'm reliving my past.
Tommy, before you logged on, we were talking about, sorry, I'm just charging my phone. We were talking about how relationships are affected by quarantine. So one of the top reasons is that people are actually spending more time together, coupled. What's your take on that?
Una papita, Karina.
I would say that's true, but people are spending more time together.
This
The
one's
thing
for
is-
you.
That there's a lot of people that
This is for me.
should be together.
Yeah.
There are people that should not be together.
See? The
And-
problem was always there. They just never knew about it because they didn't have to talk to each other.
Yeah, and excuse me while I have my
Baby.
Peroni because I'm home.
¿Qué tú bebes?
Una Peroni, yo estoy italiano because the liquor store by me does not sell Heinekens anymore because they can't get it delivered.
Tú estás muy fino.
So how's
Oh my God, people. I'm going to give you a new cocktail that I
Para la
made.
semana que viene, nosotros vamos a ver a Tommy. Dime.
So you buy coconut water and coconut flavored tequila. 1800 is really good. And then you add a little seltzer. That shit's delicious.
I'm gonna have Jennifer come into the room now so we can have some questions.
So I can't do my recipes no more.
That's what I'm talking about. Oye, dile esa tiguera que...
It's blue.
Está
She
bien.
don't want to. Calm down.
Espérate un
I
minuto.
know.
No,
I
hang
know
on a
she
second.
don't want
I'm
me.
gonna go outside right now. Hang on a second. Give me a quick second. I'm just gonna
Where
change
you
things
going?
around.
So ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, we're gonna have Jennifer joining us. She is the relationship certified relationship therapist. So it's not somebody that's gonna
She's
confront.
a real counselor. She knows what she's
She's
talking
a
about.
real
Not like me.
therapist. So that's hysterical, Karina.
She's not like me. I just talk shit because, hey,
You've
But
lived.
yeah, we just listen because you're you.
I know. I kind of have a big mouth. You can't ignore me.
We've
Let me
noticed.
just promote this on my.
Venga, voy para allá, all right? Que ya está bueno. Tú no puedes estar conmigo en este maldito Zoom y mandándome vainas así, como que uno no va a conjuntar así para allá.
¿A dónde que él va?
A tu casa.
¿Va a buscar qué?
Ya van
Hola,
3 veces.
El otro fue para la playa.
Ya ha entregado los
I
hombres.
went outside. I went
en la
outside.
faz de la tierra.
Me enseñaste la cola el otro día. Yo dije, diablo, si esta mujer me enseña la cola, está para mí. Me la enseñó. Con testigo. Después Después, venga, Chris está frisado, esa sonrisa, because he looks scary. at this point.
La sonrisa colgate. La sonrisa colgate.
Esa risa como que me asusta.
Cryptic se parece a Juan Luis Guerra.
Ay,
Ya que
sí.
sí.
Diablo, sí.
Tremenda uña que yo tengo, eh.
No, it froze because
Anyway.
I was promoting the show.
I just wanted
Quédate en
to,
la playa.
yeah, I wanted to talk about my relationship part.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I think that, yeah, that people are spending a lot of times together. I think that there's a really big impact
La playa with a long
into how, loco, esa agua hiede, no te preocupes.
I think you went to Orchard Beach.
Mínimo Coney Island.
Let him finish his point, people.
Ay, ay.
There are people
Deja que Tommy termine su punto.
there are people, you know, there are people that should not be together for a long time periods. That doesn't always
For
work.
those, though.
You know what? This is what I'll tell you. What I've been checking up on a lot of things in relationships in the last few weeks. This is what happens because of the society that we live in. When you live with somebody, you know, you kind of everybody goes to work, right? And then you come back. You really only have about 3 hours, 4 hours of integrating time, right?
Togetherness.
Things like that. Yeah. And then, you know, somebody has to go to sleep. And then between that gets interrupted with a commercial, or whatever the hell happens. But now you got a 24-hour period where the only break you got is when you go to the bathroom or when you fall asleep. And even when you fall asleep, if they snore, they're right there.
Right.
You know, so now if you got a strong relationship, yes, it becomes stronger.
No.
Weak relationship, you know.
Damn what he wants.
Pero mírate, tigres, así, ustedes hablan de mi padre.
Él anda en su carro.
Este tigre tiene un puente que lo
Tommy,
tengo.
you look like a Corona commercial.
Yo ando con
Commercial with a green bottle.
Con una perrona.
Espera. You want to see magic? I'm going to show you magic. You see this one is empty?
Yeah.
It's fácil.
Ahí viene Tommy con su.
Yo, I do magic tricks, bro.
I'm gonna multitask because I gotta feed my daughter and I forgot to put the chicken in the oven. So this is what happens. Now we're cooking with Cryptic.
Yeah, there you go. Cooking with Cryptic.
Yo, I'll be right back.
¿Tú no vienes a lamber pa' acá, no?
He's leaving.
Yo, pero
Déjame un plato ahí.
Suerte que le deje un plato a Splu.
Déjamelo ahí al frente de la puerta. Yo voy a lo busco.
pero
So Tommy, keep telling you.
so anyway, the point is that these are difficult times for a lot of relationships. And I think it challenges a lot of the issues that people run into.
But I was telling Karina earlier that if you're having issues spending time together during quarantine, you shouldn't be married at all.
That is very true. But a lot of people don't know they shouldn't be married at all until quarantine.
A lot of people think marriage is one thing and it's actually something else.
Yeah, they think it's transactional.
Yes, everybody sees marriage. Some people see marriage as a business.
I know people that won't leave their girl or girls that won't leave their man because the rent is covered.
Oh, relationships. They're called rent relationships.
Friend relationship, business relationships, whatever you want to call them, as long as the check clears, everything's cool. If it don't, then you have a different kind of problem.
Which is another problem right now because if one of y'all are fired and that rent starts to be shaky, you out.
So basically,
Not only are you out, but also she's out or
Because
he's out. Because guess what? There's a lot of situations. There's a household that's held together because everybody brings something to the table.
Yep.
Even if the worst person in the table brings less, the only way it works is if they're both. Like, I've witnessed people that have been in relationships and they had an apartment. No, neither of them could hold the apartment by themselves, but they
well,
both.
then again, that's also
based on society, because to be honest, it's expensive to live alone in New York.
It is. And then
Anywhere is expensive. Life is expensive.
yo me quiero mudar con Splu.
Oíste.
Call me a crack.
Manito, mira, tú te mudas conmigo, your pussy rate will go so high, brother.
Splu no floja, sí, no, Splu una señorita seria.
Yo quiero ese tigre yo lo quiero.
Hay mucho amor aquí. Esa vaina confunde.
Ajá, pero que confunda, pero la verdad, si yo te quiero, loco, eso no tiene que ver nada. Ahora, espérate, nadie ha dicho que estamos haciendo nada, ¿cómo se dice?
Tommy, no me estés pegando los cuernos, ¿oíste?
Con que,
Yo, you know what's funny? Yo,
Dani, no hable, no diga esa vaina.
Bueno,
Sí,
si Tommy,
tú estás diciendo en internet, espera calladito.
si Tommy quiere un chingo, yo estoy obligado a dárselo porque Tommy me está ayudando a arreglar mi vida.
Ay.
que nadie se meta.
Diablo, loco.
Y eso es lo que él está cobrando. Bueno, para adelante.
Splu, tú eres un cuero barato.
Diablo, loco.
It takes, right, Splu?
Loco, Splu.
Dímelo.
That's out of love. Hey!
Okay,
Hey.
Splu, behave yourself. We have a guest.
I like your background.
El Splu.
Jenny,
¿Cuál es que te
Oh,
gusta?
hey, how you doing?
¿Cuál es que te gusta, Jennifer?
I like your background. You know, the San Francisco Bridge
Oh, thank you.
and una playa.
No, que yo salí afuera porque el aire acondicionado me estaba molestando.
You know,
Después yo dije, déjame darme una cervecita aquí afuera porque tú sabes que el aire acondicionado me seca el cuero.
my
What's your
background is my kitchen. I'm cooking.
Yo
I
salí afuera
I
con
see
15
even
soles.
the little breeze
Yo
and the
salí afuera
plants
con
moving
15
in the
soles.
background. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. What happened was
Espérate.
that I was flying, and then I forgot that we had to do the podcast, so I just stopped in San Francisco right here next to the bridge.
Oh, okay. Good
Yeah, I
to
got
know.
it.
Yeah.
Plus, he's
But
so
after we hang up, I'm gonna just start flying again and get to New York. I'll be there in like
Yo.
20 minutes.
Yo, what time tú no venías para acá, Splu.
You guys are funny.
Yeah, I'm
What
flying.
happened?
Y'all caught me while I was in the middle of San Francisco.
I'm gonna
Like,
send my
look,
butler
Manny got
to
caught
pick
in the
you up.
middle of taking a shit.
Yo, by the way, I gotta show you a video. This is hilarious. Some chick doing Zoom. She kind of checked the... Espérate, que yo voy a resolver ese problema ahora.
I think
Y'all
I know
gonna
what
laugh at this. This is hilarious.
All right, show us that video, and then we're gonna go ahead and take it away with Jenny. Jenny, by the way, my background is me cooking, so I'm not as fancy as these guys.
Might be the most important.
Yeah, I mean,
Restaurant.
at least you were keeping it real.
Yo, you know what I realized? I'm doing the
Oh,
podcast.
so you trying to hold on? You trying to say that I'm lying?
if the shoe fits.
Ay.
Espérate, vamos a abrir esta vaina. Check this out,
Tommy, you
guys.
left the port open. You left the port open, Tommy.
Bring me the port open. Espérate.
That's
Oh,
it.
boy.
So
Sure
Get up with
that
the-
what people are saying on the
Makeup.
screen
Tommy, what you
This
is
is
what
funny,
you want
guys.
them to see, because you don't want them to see what happened to this poor girl.
I think it really depends on just like the ethical standards
Look
of
at
the
this one.
profession. And in reality, I've heard that social work kind of has very
Is that the one that went to the bathroom?
yeah, she went to the bathroom.
like good standards in terms of things, and that oftentimes people don't, like people of other professions don't have. Hold on.
Terrible.
I saw nothing.
Oh my God, Jennifer.
I always try to find the humor in every.
Yeah, Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer, and she kind of messed up there.
Yeah, that's
she
real.
did. Royally.
Royally.
Tú supiste.
I like how he's sinking into the water and the bridge in the background. That's my favorite.
Oh, girl, I'm with the wind. That's happening.
Mira, yo
Looks like
estoy,
he's slowly
Chill.
dying.
I'm in the deck. I'm on the deck above the water. Oh, look.
But
Yeah,
Blue doesn't know how to sit still, so he's falling all over the place. His head is
Yo veo
falling.
el tuna está allá.
Karina, tú y tu papita me tienen harto ya. Es harto
Ay,
que me
Dios,
tienen.
pero por Dios, Dios mío, uno no puede ni comer ni vivir. Esto es una cosa.
Es que tengo hambre. Esta
No es mi
ñoña tiene
problema.
hambre.
Usted debió comer antes de comenzar.
Espera,
preocupes.
let me keep it real. Let me get off. Let me, hang on a second. Let me go inside.
Ay. Di que Boris Cuyo.
So let's officially welcome Jennifer to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Jennifer.
Is it Jennifer or is it Jenny? It's Jennifer.
It's Jenny. Everyone thinks it's Jennifer, but no, it's just
Okay,
Jenny.
so let's do that again. Guys, let's welcome Jenny to the podcast.
Hey, Jenny.
Yo, hey, ready?
Ooh, Jenny.
Hey, guys.
Yo, but it's crazy because I don't know that many Jennys. It's either Jennifer and they go by Jenny. So that's why I assume. See, that's why you don't assume people.
Yeah, I know.
Have you met my baby mother?
So it's just Jenny.
Yes, just Jenny.
Jenny's mom. Is that Jenny's mom? That's Stacy's mom. Whatever.
No, that's Stacy's mom.
All right.
That's
So
You know that guy died because of the coronavirus?
allegedly, yes.
Really?
Yeah, the guy that sings Stacy's mom. That's so crazy.
Oh my God, man.
So Jenny from the block, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
What do I do?
Where were you born?
Where was I born?
All that
Okay.
stuff. We ask our guests where they're from. We do that all the time. So tell us
Okay.
a little bit about your background.
So born and raised in New York, but my parents are from Dominican Republic. I was shipped. Oh, yeah, I know, representing. I was always shipped over there for the summers. So yeah, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know what that feels like.
But don't say were you a bad kid? Because when they ship you to DR, that means
No,
okay.
for the summer. When you go for the summer. A bañarse
Okay.
en
Yeah, that's where you go to the summer. You know.
Okay.
I
I
was shipped
think-
because I was a bad kid.
Basically.
Or maybe they
Pero-
just wanted you to be more culturalized.
Right. That's what they tell
They
you.
couldn't stand my ass, so they was like, you know what? Pa' fuera.
One last note. It's funny. I gotta know before you continue, Jennifer. So when I was 17, I was dating this 15-year-old girl, right? Her mom didn't like me for some reason because in junior high school and high school, whatever, one of those things. She shipped her to DR to stay away from me.
Yes.
She
I
came
guess
back.
so.
She came back pregnant.
I guess so.
Oh my doña. But yeah.
So I guess she learned her lesson.
Oh, she learned her lesson, all right.
De gran
Couple
manera.
lessons.
Carry on, Jenny.
En gran manera.
Yes.
En gran
real.
manera, la doña. En gran.
Wow.
So where's that Domingo you from?
So the capital in DR. But like,
capital.
don't ask me about my dad. I don't know
Ayúdame.
where he's from because he had way too many brothers and sisters, and you know how that whole shit goes, and
Yeah.
they don't know. They just say the capital, and that's it. And I'm like, all right.
La capital.
But here in New York, I'm from
90%
Queens.
de todo el mundo, todos los dominicanos son de la capital. Y la mitad de los 10%
I know.
son de San Francisco de Macorís.
I'm from San Francisco, Macorís.
There you go, you're the 5%.
I mean, personally, like, unless you're Dominican, I feel like it's so much easier for like the world to just be like, oh, so you're just from the capital, and you're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the
Because
only
if
thing
you
they
go
know.
down and go into like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if they don't know, you gotta get all technical and take out a map and be like, okay, so I'm from here, and this is this place, and they're like, oh, okay.
Listen, you can put me right in front of the door.
Those
of
who
my
don't
house
know.
in DR, I'll get lost.
I feel that I'm more authentic by taking out the map. Like, I'm from here. This is where I live. Nobody lives there, but I live there. You know, that kind of thing.
Yo soy del sitio donde está la mata de cereza en la rotonda, al lado del
Yeah,
colmado
exactly.
Guayubín.
Yeah. Frente a la casa de Teresita, al lado de Porfirio. That's how my mom be saying shit. Like, oh my God. But yeah, so Jennifer, tell us a little bit about
Jenny.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to say. I'm not used. You're gonna hear me call her Jennifer 100 times today.
Ajá.
Jenny.
Ajá.
Listen, at this point.
Like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna change your name on.
Yours. Cryptic. As long as you don't start calling me Jennifer, I'm
On
good.
my Zoom, it comes off as Jenny. So
It is
I know,
Jenny.
but we could
All you
change
have
it.
to do is
We
read
could
the
change it,
box.
but
Read the box.
Yeah. Hey, Jenny. So tell us.
Read the box, really?
So tell us. What? So you're a relationship coach, right?
No, therapist.
no, I'm actually a marriage and family therapist, and
Yes.
I am in the process of getting my licensure. But that's what I do for a living. I do marriage and family therapy. I'm clinical, but that isn't the only thing that I do. Outside of that, I'm also like very spiritual. So I see shit, I hear shit. That's also like the added bonus to the things that I do.
So you're church on Sundays?
Wait. That was a fancy
We
way
did
of saying.
discuss that.
Is that a fancy way of saying que tú eres chismosa?
No, ella no es chismosa.
She said, I hear shit. I see
No, I'm
shit.
not
I'm just
chismosa.
messing with
She
you.
got special things going on, and we're going to discuss that at a later time.
Well,
We're gonna bring it back.
Goes to church on
So
Sunday.
she be knowing, because if you
know what
follow
she's
me on
talking about.
Instagram, you be seeing.
Oh, I be knowing. I'm just teasing. And what's your Instagram, by the way, so people can follow you?
Lunar Vibra.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna change your name to that.
Yeah, déjame yo encontrar esa vaina. A ver si yo sí.
Because everybody's going on their phone.
Karina, can
Gotta
you
go
change your
check
name?
real quick.
Can you change your name to your Instagram handle at Luna Vibra so people can follow her?
Let me see.
Oh no,
You're
Karina
making
will
me
do
do
it
something I
for
don't
you.
even know how to
I'll
do.
do it.
Karina could do it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
look at it and make sure it's spelled right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Luna and Vibras, like vibes.
Lunar. No, not Luna. It's LUNAR Vibras.
Oh, Lunar.
I have a question.
Yes.
I done butchered your name on Instagram, like on the picture. Yo, I'm just
All right.
striking out with your names.
All right. I have a question.
Oh, Lunar.
Yes, that's me.
Lunar Vibras.
Yeah.
Lunar.
Yes, like lunar. Yes.
Yes.
All right,
I just put Luna on the Instagram picture.
I just followed you. So
Thank you.
you see a real awkward guy standing on your Instagram, like, who's that?
All right.
Oh, that's that guy. The Bebo.
So what was the question you had?
Yes. So is it in your profession? Is it possible for a man to be in love with multiple people at the same time?
I think you can care about multiple people at the same time. I think that it's a lot deeper than that. I think the question has to be, what are they looking for? Because they might be seeking they might be seeking pieces of a person in each person. So the real question is, what is the common denominator in all of the women?
Oof. Oof. Nice.
So, hey,
Sometimes people have a tendency of, depending on the type of life you had, right? Because sometimes if you've been or noticed like abusive behaviors, you'll date women that kind of represent a little bit of what you experienced. Like, unless you know you've experienced trauma, you think trauma is normal. Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
So to me, I don't necessarily use gender too much, because I think that women and men have this very same behaviors. The only difference is that they're male or female, but there are women who are just as bad as men, you know? So when it comes to, like, for example, a player, right? Everyone, when you think of the word, what's the automatic sex you think of?
Male.
Yeah, that's not fair, because I've seen women who are just as bad, but they instead are called what?
Hoes.
Not
same
nice.
shit.
Not nice at all.
Interesting women.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
it's the
I'm a
same
little
shit.
bit
It's the
by
same
the audience.
energy.
It's the same stupid.
Say that one more time.
Interesting women. I said that's what they're called sometimes.
Yes.
We're
So
going by
you
what
know,
society
I
labels
think.
them.
But yeah, that's the problem. We go with labels and then we stick to those labels, and we don't understand that there's beyond the label, there's a person, and there's trauma, and people forget that. You know, I think people are very quick to judge, especially within our own culture. Dominican culture is very sexualized and very machista. And it's unfortunate because you don't ever really hear like in a lot of Hispanic households, you don't hear now a little bit more, but before you didn't hear any emotional conversations. Like, let me talk to you about how this feels. Like, if you're angry, let's talk it out. If you're upset, let's talk it out. Let's communicate. There was more like either you stop being a baby or you man the fuck up. There was no middle. There was no communication. And I see that a lot in the Hispanic culture, like a lot.
All right. Well, thank you. I definitely, you answered a question for many men, not only myself. Now, does that make me now? Does that make me a bad person? Like that? I love
No, I don't think you're a bad
the
person.
company of different people, like different females.
But then my question to you is, what are you avoiding within yourself?
Oh, that was good.
Can I jump in? Say something.
Toma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stumped me.
Jenny, I really see. I hear you on the trauma and everything and all of that. Real serious stuff. Let me ask you. I guess I'm gonna twist it back on you. A personal question. How does what you understand about relationships, people's trauma, and other things, how does that impact you when you're dating or meeting people out there?
When and what in my dating life?
In your dating or in your interaction with
people. So I don't separate myself from anyone I'm working with. I'm just like them. Like, I'm still working through my own trauma. Like, I'm also a cancer survivor, so I'm working through that. I recently had like a moment of realization that I don't trust that easily because of friendships I've had and situations I've had. So I'm still working through my own things. It's just that I've gained a lot of understanding of people and human behavior that allows me to help people who aren't aware see their mishaps or maybe where they can work on a little bit better. But every time I'm interacting with somebody, I'm always learning as they are learning. I just may know a little more technique than they do.
Congratulations, by the way, on beating cancer. That's amazing.
Hey, yeah. Listen, I feel you deeply. And the reason why I asked that question is nothing towards you specifically. It's just it's always an interesting thing because when we talk to people, therapists, coaches, and so on and so forth, a lot of people say, okay, well, you know, people don't really get an understanding that they're dealing with real people on the other side, and that's really why I asked you that. Just how do you deal with those things? How to, you know, so that way.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely not like that. I very much make it known, and everyone who's done therapy with me knows that they're like, you're not like other therapists, and I'm like, I'm not, because I'm like you. And I don't put myself any higher than you. I think we're all equal. I think I just have more technique than you do, because I studied this and you didn't.
Yeah.
And maybe what I can do is teach you, because that's the whole purpose of therapy. I'm teaching you skill sets so that you can learn how to heal on your own and deal with things on your own. I'm not meant to be long-term. I'm meant to be short-term. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Do you take health insurance? Do you take health first.
He says you take health first.
Splu, she doesn't take
I
cupones.
can't see you as a therapist. We can talk after.
Do you have a sliding scale for?
Yes, I do actually.
You do? Oh my God, that's phenomenal. That's great. All right.
Shout out to Gloria, by the way, in the chat.
Yo no pedí nada gratis. Yo no fui wig ni welfare. I went sliding scale.
What the hell is a sliding scale?
So sliding scale is es cuando empieza la sofisticación.
A ti te falta mucho, Splu.
Look, man, y'all keep throwing all these words I don't know how to spell or know the definition to. We're going to have a fucking Zoom fight.
Sliding scale es para la gente que trabajan, que son pobres y necesitan terapia. That's all.
Oh my
Ah,
God.
no, Splu, ya tú
A mí me está llevando el diablo, yo necesito terapia, ayúdame.
Ay, Dios.
Pero el diablo, like, a
Loco,
mí me está
no hay
llevando.
ayuda pública que te ayude a ti, loco.
¿Una qué?
No hay ayuda pública que te ayude a ti, sliding scale.
Yo, you know that's funny. I called the free hotline that the city gives.
Oh my
With people
God.
to talk to,
Oh
y me
my
pegaron el
God.
teléfono. Ellos like, tú tienes demasiado problema, loco. Hablamos
They
de
hung up on you.
It was like, we don't even have, we don't
Like,
have
you
that
gotta
kind of
get
time.
yourself-
We don't have that kind of time.
Hablamos el martes.
No,
You trying to hurt anybody else? No? All right, bye. And then you hung up on.
So
But then we were talking before you got on. We were talking about coronavirus and relationships and how the quarantine has taken a toll on relationships. One of the main factors that it was that couples are spending more time together. How could that possibly be a negative? And how is that a problem that couples are actually spending time together? What's your take on that? And how can couples cope with this extra time that they have? That was the end of my
Well,
question.
first off, that's a loaded question because I have a lot of questions in one.
Okay. All right. So basically,
So one thing at a time. I'm gonna start.
Go ahead. Couple
So
spending
the
time
first
together.
question you asked. Yes. So here's the thing, and I've posted some videos on Instagram about that because I found that people were suffering a lot more from mental health stress and overwhelmingness during this time frame. So I have a few videos on it, but here's the summary of those videos. If you look at what life was like before, in reality, let's do, like, for example, one thing I talked about was parenting, right? In theory, you technically only spent weekends with your children and maybe 3 hours a day. Because if you're at work all day long and then they're sleeping the rest of the time, and then there's that little window of I pick you up, I eat, I make you eat, do your homework, go to sleep. And then the only real time you had with your children, right, was the weekends, if you think about it in theory, which put a lot of pressure on teachers, and teachers were the ones who were technically spending more time with your children than you were. And so they were kind of the parents, right? So now you have like parent households, right, who are now getting to know their children. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't
So that's
knowing
one
that they have a little fucking devil in the house running around.
Yeah. So now there's
Awesome.
one component, because
Great.
now you have to get to truly know your child and who they are. And then the difficult part that some parents have is that if they don't like themselves, they see themselves in their children. And it's like a mirror.
Mm.
And then that creates a lot of like, damn, I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at qualities and mannerisms that I don't really like about myself. Then that can in turn be like, what if they're just like your spouse and you're not in the greatest place with your spouse, right? So now your kid almost represents those qualities or those thoughts that he just that.
What happened?
Manny was wearing underwear and he just
Oh
walked
my
out.
It was amazing.
Manny, what the fuck are you doing? I just saw the YouTube feed.
Underwear?
Listen, as we were saying in the video that Thomas showed
Jesus
us,
Christ, what does this show become?
Yo, listen, this is why when you come to a video, we should have basics. Wear your pants and wear a shirt your mother would be proud of.
Manny,
Manny, you're not wearing pants.
Manny,
No, I'm comfortable. Leave me alone.
se te salió una bola.
He's comfortable.
Jenny,
You like? You like?
Stop noticing
All
stuff.
that matters.
Stop noticing stuff, Jenny.
We've lost control of this show. But Jenny, as you were saying.
So when it comes to couples, I think it's just a matter of you really getting to know yourselves and you getting to know the other person. So it's difficult when you are dealing with a situation where you're still in the process of understanding what you want and what you need for yourself, and you're working through whatever issues you got to work through. And then you're now working on also dealing with someone else, working through their process. Do you get what I'm saying? So then it becomes really difficult to be processing at the same time. For example, me, I don't like to be pressured into coming with a decision or an answer when I haven't processed my emotions yet. Does that make sense? So imagine being stuck with someone and I need to process my emotions like this. That just doesn't work. So some tips I gave were like, take some time, to like designate like certain areas of the house for space. Like if you got a living room, one goes in the living room, one goes in the bedroom for a little while to give each other some of that personal space.
Hold on a second. Karina, can you mute Manny for a second?
Done.
Thank you. All right, so you were saying?
I said that sometimes it's just kind of designating a certain space in the house that allows you guys to have like a separation, like so you can have some moment by yourself. The other part is like maybe, coming to terms with why are you in the relationship and if the relationship is something that's going to work for you. The other part of that could be, taking walks, because we still are allowed to take walks. And I think doing that is also really helpful during this time frame. And I think the most important part is just communicating what you need. I think too often people don't communicate what is necessary for them. So like if you feel like someone is overwhelming you with certain things, there's certain ways that you can say it without disrespecting a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, telling them to shut up is not good. Got it.
It works for anybody.
Shut up is not the right way, huh?
So all this time you had me tricked thinking that you love me and telling me that you love me and that the way you talk to me is love. But all of the time I was right. It's verbal abuse.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, well, she just told me that I was doing it wrong. I didn't know.
Okay.
But you had a friend.
Just to bring you up to speed, Jenny, Karina is in a relationship with Spru that she doesn't know about.
Oh, okay.
That's what's going on here.
Because she knows, if her to ride, I had to like, I think this is wrong.
So
Autobots.
Yeah, you're
yeah. Can you guys repeat that? Because I didn't hear.
Earlier, Spru, your signal's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Blue's not on right.
Jenny, so
yeah.
Let me ask you, so what made you choose this career out of,
since I was like 16 years old, I was always analyzing people. And I remember I would like look at my friends cheat on each other or break up, and my friends were like, oh, he's such an asshole. And I'm like, well, I don't think he's an asshole. I just don't think he understands why he's doing what he's doing. I just always knew that there was a reason behind a person's behavior, and it wasn't so clear cut as in like, oh, he's just an asshole. No, something made him an asshole.
Yes.
And so I've thought that way since I was a kid.
Manny, tú estás comiendo. Manny está comiendo para no brindar.
In your eyes, assholes have a chance.
No, I think being an asshole is a choice.
It is a choice.
Yeah,
And
eso
I
dolió.
also think that it is also about self-awareness.
Very.
Are you ready to confront why you're being an asshole? Like, are you open to healing those traumas you have that made you an asshole, or the insecurity or the lack of vulnerability because you became an asshole, right? I know a lot of people that have told me I'm an asshole, and I'm like, but the more you say that, you believe it because that's what you think it is to not be weak. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I totally do. I get that. That's phenomenal stuff, man. I like that.
So everybody has a chance.
Yeah. No. I'm just,
Blue, te queremos.
¿Dónde se fue Spooky? Diablo, mano.
So my next question is, how important is sex during quarantine? That's a question that I was asked to ask. How important is sex in quarantine? I don't know how this person worded the question. Like, I don't understand, but I'm asking how it was written. How important is sex during
I don't
quarantine?
know. It depends on the person. And what does that even mean?
I think
exactly.
Let me try to see if I can make some sense out of that. Cryptic. I think the question is, in a relationship that may be frayed or maybe having issues, how important is sex or intimacy rather during this quarantine period?
Right.
How important is it to salvage what there is?
Well, that's kind of a tough question because why are you salvaging, something that you already deem as not really working? I think then there needs to be a bigger question that why do you feel the need to attach yourself to something that you know is not good for you and not good for the other person? So to me, I think it may not be the best because it confuses you and makes you unsure about where your boundaries are. And I think that boundaries are extremely important, especially during this time frame. And boundaries are as simple as just saying, like, I don't feel like talking right now, or I don't feel like being intimate right now. And that's okay to say.
Yeah.
Right.
No, well, I totally get where you're coming from. I think the question is raised on, I think we might have gone in.
I guess is the help, like, how communication
help the relationship, right?
I think I'm trying to read the question is like, should they be having? Okay, so I guess again I'm just going on a tangent here because I don't understand the question here either. But I think they're asking, how communication is important in a relationship. So sex is also important in a relationship, but how often do you do it? Does that constitute how healthy the relationship is? I think that's
up to the couple. That's up to the couple themselves. That's not for me to know. You know what I mean? Like, every person is their own individual. Every couple is their own knows their dynamic. That answer I wouldn't be able to give you a correct answer because every relationship is unique to itself. Right. And you all know that. You all know that. You don't have the same relationships with every partner you've had. There's some where it's very passionate. You can't keep your hands off of each other, but it's the same love as someone who you can sit in silence with all the time and that be okay. So it really depends on the dynamic of the relationship you have with that person.
Okay. So another question I have is it okay for my boyfriend husband to be friends with his exes?
Judy, do you have a boyfriend?
My question.
That was the question.
I was like,
so my question.
You missed the part where I said I'm reading questions that I got in my inbox and I'm keeping these people anonymous. So
hey, let me have some fun.
That's why I said the gender of who wrote the question.
It's pretty obvious.
You know what? I want to do that edit because I want to make sure I put when Yuri came out the closet. I want to make sure I put that snippet today.
I did say boyfriend or girlfriend.
Gonna answer the question. Go, Jenny.
Well, obviously it's a girl because I read the question as she wrote it. Her boyfriend.
I think I'm gonna, can I ask a question?
So, yeah. Well, can I answer one question at the
Answer the one you got.
Sorry, we're trying to get used to the Zoom. We're trying to get used to the Zoom thing. So go ahead, answer the question, Jen.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question for her, right, would be to think about this. Why does he feel the need to be friends with these exes? What type of relationship did they have, and did he heal from those relationships? And if he did, and he got some healing he needs to do. The only time you ever feel attached to someone is because there was something that either wasn't finished or wasn't healed during the time frame that you guys were interacting. You know, maybe there was like a regret. Maybe there was some sort of like, I feel like I owe you something because you were there for me during a dark time, or and I think it's more like open the conversation to why he feels the need to have that connection, and then ask yourself if you're okay with him having that connection.
Interesting.
Good answer.
So, but it's funny, see, because from what you said, for example, I have a lot of female friends, and some of these friends that keep some of the exes, but I don't see them in any way, or I do not feel like I need to be with them, because I'm the type of person that I'm one and done. If it didn't work out the first time, we're not gonna be together the second time. But that doesn't mean that I can have like a friendship with them without having, like, I don't have feelings for them. So, and the closure was complete, because I'm talking about, these are relationships I had 4 years ago, 7 years ago. So, I mean, for me, it's different. Like,
yes, no, and I agree with you, but I'm telling you what I'm picking up from that relationship.
Okay.
Do you get my antennas? That's what I call them.
Yeah. Okay. So, like you said,
that's what I mean by sometimes my spiritual friend.
Right. Sounds good. So, Tom, you had a question.
No, I'm gonna say, so what's your from your professional experience, given the incredible situation that we're dealing with, do you think that there's going to be a change in your business, or an uptick in your business with relationships, finding interesting resolutions with this coronavirus lockdown? Do you think that relationships are going to be worse off for it or better off for it?
I think this is a time in which everyone's going to reflect on what it is that they truly want and what they truly believe is right for themselves. And of course, that in turn is going to make everyone change how they view relationships and how they view the importance in their lives. I think after this time frame, it'd be incredible if you didn't analyze something about who you are and what you want in yourself, and that you didn't take that time to at least notice something. I mean, you're stuck at home. You have no one else but yourself to think about. And like, for example, I was talking to my supervisor the other day about how the first week in therapy was complete panic. It was complete like disaster relief, constant talking about strategy and how to calm everyone down. The second week, it was a lot of attitude, a lot of like, I'm frustrated, I'm done with this, fuck this shit, like this is bullshit, I don't want to be here anymore, I don't want to do this. This week has been a lot of...
Okay. I'm joking.
This week has been a lot of reflecting, a lot of people telling me, I didn't realize I have so many issues. Like, I didn't realize that I was avoiding a lot about myself. I don't know where this is coming from. Like, certain emotions are showing up. And so I think that by the end of this, I think a lot of people are going to have a better understanding of what they want and what they need and who's showing up for them and who isn't. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Now, how are you dealing with your patients? Like, you just said that you have some patients that have actually reached out to you and still communicate. But for example, the appointments that you have, because I'm pretty sure there was actually people looking forward to appointments. Like, did you drop them or did you keep it virtual with them? Did you speak with them on the phone?
No. We went virtual, and I also do phone sessions. So everyone was very understanding. I think therapy can be done in any form as long as the client is open to it and they want to receive that. The number one rule I always talk about with people is don't come to therapy if you're not ready to change. And I mean that in the most loving and respectful way, because the thing is, if you aren't going to put in the work, I'm not going to do the work for you. This is me helping you because you're choosing to come here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've seen people force people to come to therapy and it doesn't work. It doesn't at all. And then they're like, oh, that my experience was really shitty. Yeah, because you didn't want to. And that's okay. But then you got to know when you're ready to do that. You got to know when you're ready to heal. And no one can tell you when is that time. Only you can tell yourself.
That's right.
I agree
and I believe in respecting that. I respect that wholeheartedly. I have teenagers that their parents drag them in here. I'm like, they don't want to talk. That's okay. But then you got to let them do what they want to do. When they're ready, they'll come. They'll talk.
I have one last question. Actually, I have two more questions. One last question that was asked was, somebody feels that during the quarantine, they noticed that their significant other has been non-communicative or like not available emotionally in a sense. What can they do to try to get their partner's attention? Like they feel like they're emotionally unavailable.
I don't think you can do anything. I don't think you can do anything but just tell them, I'm here for you whenever you're ready to talk. Because you can't force someone to talk. You can't force someone who's shutting down and needs to process with you until they are ready to do that process with you. I'm a big believer in respecting a person's space and respecting a person's process. And you can't force someone to talk. That's just like you forcing a kid to eat.
Yeah.
Are they gonna eat? Tú vas a decir, no, siéntate obligado, tú vas a comer ahora mismo. El muchacho se va a quedar ahí 3 horas no comiendo because they don't want to. O sea, you can't force someone to talk when they're not ready. And if that person's becoming emotionally available, you can state it. And I'm a big believer in stating something. You can definitely say to that person, like, listen, I noticed that you're distant. I noticed you're not really communicating. I'm hurt, but whenever you're ready to talk about it, I'm open to that.
They've been together 8 months and they're quarantining together. And this is where they stated that they've noticed this about them. And is this a foreshadowing? Wow, big words. Is this the foreshadowing of things to come if we decide to move in together?
I want to say yes and no, because also look at the world that we're in at this current time frame. This is the scariest thing that's happened to literally, I think, most of the generations that are currently alive. So to be honest, I think it's not an accurate depiction, because we're in a world right now that none of us know how to navigate. And none of us know what the next few months are going to bring. And so it's a lot to ask of somebody who is very clearly shutting down and very clearly processing their emotions.
Right. That's very good. Hopefully they're tuning in and hearing this. That was actually a really good answer. And finally, what advice do you have for these couples that are quarantining together? We touched base a little bit earlier. We're talking about going outside, walking together, but those that are afraid to go outside, and I'm talking about the ones that don't have any kids, what would you tell them to do around the house to try to keep the relationship going and to break the monotony of being stuck at home? What are some of the things that they could do together?
So one thing I always say is keep a schedule.
Okay.
No, Keeping a schedule. Why? Because I think it keeps us some sort of normalcy. I think when you lose a sense of normal, it almost you become stir crazy. I think maybe also playing games, reading on your own, maybe like reading stuff and kind of having a conversation on what you're reading, taking a class together. There's a bunch of free online classes, listening to podcasts like this one, and talking about what you guys like heard, or having like making conversation and just learning something new about each other. I think that definitely helps. Teaching and learning and growing, not just about each other, but maybe as individuals, and then coming together and talking about it. You know, like I said, we're in a very difficult time, and that's the best that you can do. And my suggestion always is that if you feel alone, if you're feeling stressed, if you're overwhelmed, just reach out to somebody, because somebody is going to have some sort of resource to give to someone. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sounds good. Anybody have any other questions?
I have a question. I have a question.
Wait, you have pants on? You know, to ask questions, you need pants.
Put it on Gender Blenders tab, okay?
All right.
I have a question. My wife is a very antisocial person. I've tried numerous times to try to go out with her, and I love going out with my wife. I absolutely love that. The problem is she's not with that. She'd rather be at home and not go out. But I'm the type of person that I can compromise, but I also want to go out with my wife. Is there any advice, any tips that I can that you can give me to maybe try to I don't know, make her a little bit more social, or
Olvídala, no sé si es para ti, por eso quiero verte.
So there's a few things I want to say, but I don't necessarily, out of respect for you and your wife, I don't necessarily want to say that on here, but I'll give you a general answer.
Okay.
Sometimes people who are antisocial find it difficult to find it overwhelming to be around a lot of people. It could be for various reasons. It could be that that there's anxiety, like what do people think, like of judgment, what do people think about me, what if I'm not funny, what if I'm not cool, what if I feel like I lack something that people will enjoy being around me. So that becomes too overwhelming for them, and they prefer to just be at home where they feel safe. I think maybe it's about bringing out in that person their passion, and then connecting that person with things that they're passionate about and other people that are passionate about the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, it really does make sense. I'll definitely
so maybe during the time frame, like for example, there's always a bunch of people that are hosting like art classes, and they're like this in Zoom, and there's a whole bunch of people and they interact, and and that's one way to kind of meet someone, but it be safe space for a person who is antisocial. Also, like talking that person up and showing and reminding that person of their strengths and the things that they bring to the table, that allows them some sort of confidence when they are out and about with groups of people. And then also doing it little by little. I think like if you go like, oh, mama salí, but it's like a 4-hour party, that's a bit much for a person who's antisocial. Maybe the party needs to be like 4 or 5 people, then it can slowly move up to 8 people, like that, like a slow process, so that they don't feel so overwhelmed, and allow them to get comfortable with the people. So that's kind of like a way to handle that.
Lou, we can see you.
Cool, thank you.
Sounds good. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for doing this podcast. We're running short. Well, we don't have a studio time, but we all got stuff to do.
Thank you, Jenny.
We definitely want you.
You're welcome, guys. It was
we
a
definitely
pleasure.
want you
Thank
back
you for having me.
We want you at the studio. Literally, when we get back to the studio, we want to have an actual formal interview, and hopefully, we don't have to talk about.
Yeah, no, of course.
during coronavirus times.
No, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm down.
Yes. So make sure to follow her at Lunar Vibras, LUNARVIBRAS. DM her. She'll give you information on how you could get some therapy sessions with her. So.
Yeah, is that your only social media venue?
At this current time frame, but I also have like a website, and you can go on my Instagram and you'll find my website, and that gives you a little more information. And I also have information on my Instagram. I'm kind of working on building more stuff over the next week or two, so you'll see if you follow me, you'll see the flux.
Did you water the plants?
Yeah, I actually have a whole bunch of plants.
I see. Nice.
All right.
Anybody else have any last minute questions before she goes?
No, that's it. Listen, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
What brand glasses are you wearing? Because they're
Yeah,
very
those
nice.
glasses, I want to say those glasses are amazing. I'm like, yo, those glasses work for you. I'm like, let me not flirt with her online.
You're
But
so
those glasses-
stupid. I will send you the link of where I got them.
All right.
But they're Australian. They're
All
an
right.
Australian brand.
So I flirted with you for Cryptic.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
What is
You guys
happening
are
on
so
this
funny.
podcast?
I really
No,
wish
I
I
just want to say I'm not taking any responsibility for anything because
They're all crazy.
Esto es un podcast cristiano, señores. Dejen su
Oye,
mierda.
Guys,
Podcast
stay safe
cristiano.
and enjoy
Thank you so
yourselves.
much.
Learn a lot
Yes.
from each other and from the people around you. And stay safe.
And welcome
Yes.
to the Gender Blender family. All our guests become
Yes.
family instantly.
take
So,
care.
I'm excited. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
We appreciate you. That was amazing.
Annie, what are you drinking?
What? Excuse me?
That was an amazing interview, by the way. She's really,
I know
really, really,
I
really
like
good.
her.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like her energy too.
I like her vibe. I like her vibe.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to have her back live in the studio. We definitely need like a whole chill session at the studio. So
Listen, I gotta say, man, this Zoom live thing is an amazing thing. Working out.
when it works, because we tried yesterday and it didn't work.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
man, you know what? We gotta take what we can take, man.
We'll take it.
It
What we're
works
gonna
today.
do is we're gonna promote the guests, but we're just gonna promote the guests. Instead of promoting the time, we'll just promote the guests, whether it's a Tuesday or Wednesday. Just know that our next podcast will have so-and-so.
Eventually, at some point this week, we will have a person on our show.
Exactly.
I'll stand by.
On our next podcast.
Hey, at
that's what
some
we're gonna put.
point, you know, just keep coming back.
Yo,
eventually.
who made this work? Who made this work today?
Karina's the one that hosts these things.
Karina. Good job,
This
Karina.
is what I did. I went online at 4:30 and was like, let me test this because I'm not being frustrated later. And it worked. So here we
All
are.
right, all right.
Well, thank you, Karina. We
It's
love
been a
you.
great show. My
See what
dinner
type of
is
pants
ready.
you got on right now?
¿Qué?
Huh?
¿Qué tú dijiste?
Yeah?
I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah. Cryptic, let me see that chicken.
You want to see that chicken?
Manny, ponte los pantalones.
No, you can't make me.
Oye,
He said
Cryptic,
no.
Yo,
Cryptic, hazme el mío con un chin de totones.
yo, you're the Bronx. You're the
Déjame
Bronx
el plato ahí
underwear
en la mesa.
bandit.
Ya lo
Manny,
sabe.
you and your underwear. Look at that rice. Look at that rice.
Diablo,
Oh.
Cryptic. Diablo, Cryptic. Así que tú estás.
Pero tú viste el pollo.
Vamos para allá, Lambe.
Tú no viste el pollo. Mira el pollo. Mira el pollo. Ay, ay.
Loco, pero ven acá. ¿Y qué es lo que hay que hacer para ir a Lambert?
Oye, ya yo he ido donde Cryptic ya como 4 veces y Cryptic no me ha brindado ni un vaso de agua de bebé.
Pero miren ese
Loco.
pollito.
No, está bien, loco, pero vamos a hacer algo.
Blue, yo no sé cómo Yaya no te envenenó con esa habichuela cruda.
Ah, ese día a Chepa bebí una cerveza porque una cerveza ya.
Oye, te tienes mal agradecido.
Loco, ven acá. Y where do I get Gender Blender t-shirt like the one Manny got?
Hey, we
I
special.
got you.
Is that the pajama version? Because you ain't got underwear on.
Yeah. I have underwear on. What you saying?
Él no está desacreditando la camiseta sin pantalones.
Mami, solo cuando tú tienes visita en la casa y sale el hijo en cuero. Así fue que casi salió como we had a guest on the show.
Y eso, I was trying to be discreet.
Oh yeah, that's what you were trying to do.
Trying.
Try
Trying is the key word.
Enseñate los 3 granos que tiene.
Gracias. Ese mínimo tengo que ser un toro retardado. Mínimo.
Yo, we were dying. Yo, Manny, we were dying, bro. You gotta see that shit. I gotta find that clip.
No, are you gonna put that on loop for like God knows how long?
Yeah.
Yo, you did one of them Zoom virals. You know how people going viral on Zoom?
Yo, Zoom.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah, I
have
don't
you
wanna
guys
be
noticed
famous.
the new changes on Zoom ever since the lawsuit?
No.
No.
All right, I guess not then.
What happened?
Zoom's been making a slew of changes to its security.
Oh yeah, you can add your password now.
Yeah, you got a whole slew of things to security and a lot of updates.
Oh yeah, because I heard somebody hacked and it was drawing penises like or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a school that was doing classes and some kids started putting porn.
Mierda, qué sicario.
Ya.
Estos chamaquitos de ahora son frescos.
Oye.
There's nothing safe.
Esa
Nada.
Ellos no, si esos chamaquitos usarían ese cerebro para otra cosa, loco.
Otro mundo fuera.
Oye.
Is that one of your phrases, Karina, on your shirts?
What?
Is that sí, otro mundo fuera? ¿Cómo fue? Me gustó la frasecita.
Si los carajitos usaran el cerebro para cosas buenas, otro mundo fuera, no.
Esa sería una buena frase para tu camisita.
Ahí está.
I'll figure it out.
Sí, pero
make it work. I can't do everything. Make it work.
I'm just saying, I've been a witness a la camisita, entonces tienen algo como explosivo. Voltéate, que te quiero ver por atrás, quiero ver lo que dice atrás.
Coño, Toby, pero no me dañe la vuelta. No me dañe la vuelta, sí.
Hey, I'm just saying what I witnessed yesterday.
Y tú no le
No, es que tú tenías ayer poca palabra y después de que voltease y después tenías el video que entonces...
Para buen entendedor, pocas palabras bastan.
Sí, pero en el video no creyó, entonces tú tenías que voltearte to prove the proof in the pudding.
Eso es, tú ves, gracias Tommy, me hundiste pero me sacaste del agua.
Te quiero a ti, loco, yo te quiero.
Te dio CPR a la mala, fue.
Yo no te estaba hundiendo, yo lo que estaba diciendo era que el t-shirt es a bad idea.
No.
As long as she puts something on the back of it and she just show us, you know. Now, si la camisa no va con atrás, olvídalo.
Ay.
Anyway, like I said, that's fine. You know what? We're a blouse. How about that, Karina?
I'm about to have some dinner. I am out of here.
I don't need to see the back of your
Then.
Yo,
All right,
guys, I think this is it. Yo, lo quiero mucho. Pórtense bien.
It was an amazing podcast. Again, Jenny, thank you so much. Great advice.
Yo, Jenny was amazing.
She's
she
great.
Was beautiful. She was articulate, and she had nice glasses on.
Amazing.
Hey, can I give you guys a snippet of my new song?
Please, I've been waiting for this shit all day. Please.
Nos vamos con esa.
All right, here it goes. El coronavirus, nena, el coronavirus. Ábreme la puerta negra que quiero matarte. El coronavirus, hija, tu virus querido. El virus que más te quiere, el virus que mata.
What happened to the background music, though?
Hey,
You didn't get to it fast enough.
You didn't hear it?
I didn't get to it fast enough. You have YouTube? Can you put YouTube?
No. Fellas, man, thank you for bringing me into the team. I love this. This is great.
Tommy, we love you, Tommy.
Yo, Yo, Anderson Credit all the way. And guys, remember, man, we're like I said, Anderson Credit. Anybody want to look to get a free credit analysis?
Yes.
And credit report? Come see me.
Yes,
It
yes.
costs you $1. Anybody in the team? And the
Do
whole
me a
thing.
favor, do you have like a little promo or anything that I could drop on the Instagram page? Like
I'm working on it. I am literally, yo estaba trabajando esta vaina because I've been doing the back, but I'm going to do a little promo.
I do it and I'll post it. Once you have it ready, I'll post it on the page.
What did you do?
Well, no, when you do it, I'll post it on the page.
Okay, cool.
Send it to me, yeah.
Yeah, y nada, loco, but just want to let you guys know it's available to you guys. It's free, and you guys, Sploo's already used it. Karina's already used it. So Manny and Crypt, if you guys want to do it, and you guys can then create video testimonials about it and let everybody know.
I definitely will.
You know, we can talk about it. All right, guys, have a
That's
great
good
day.
All right, guys, love you. See you
All right,
next
people. See you next week.
Sometime between Monday and Friday, we'll be live.
I
Monday
promise.
to Friday, we'll pick a day when this thing wants to work.
I promise to wear red boxers next time.
You asshole.
I don't care if you wore pants.
No.
All right.
But it's como el hijo mío. I gotta force him to wear clothes at home. I'm like, you have to wear something because you can never know. You gotta run out.
Es que él es acuario como yo, por eso que él anda así. Yo no uso ropa en mi casa.
Thank
Ok,
you.
ya tú ves toda la
Thank you.
puya que ella me tira. Ustedes están viendo.
Yo estoy hablando con Tomás.
Check this out. This has been Gender Blender on Zoom. We'll see you next week. Karina, take us out.
Hey!
Later, guys.